ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता द्वादशोऽध्यायः भक्तियोगः। अर्जुन उवाच। You can take over, Bela.
अस्तु। ओम श्री परमात्मने अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमणि
Sorry, Bela, 1 second. What is that? Shraddhaya parayopetaha te me yuktata. So that star you don't need to
okay.
mention. Yeah, it's a visarga there, no? Yeah.
Okay. श्री भगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेताः ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवं सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्य मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितसाम् मय्येव आधस्त्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन तो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमकर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिं वाप्स्यसि शक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मध्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान् श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः त्यागान्तिरनन्तरम् अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मित्रः करुणैव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयद्वेगैः मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्ष शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेषी न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः स मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतिव मे प्रियाः ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे भक्तियोगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञविभागयोगः श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय क्षेत्रमित्यभिधीयते एतद्यो वेत्ति तं प्राहुः क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Just give me 2 minutes.
Jai Guru Devela, the last verse, it is...
There is a Visarga.
Yeah, no, not the Visarga. Shraddha Dana Mat Parama.
Shraddhana Mat Parama.
Yeah, that's it.
Shraddhana.
Yeah.
I thought the is halant, so
No, it's not halant there. Shraddha Dana Mat Parama.
Shraddhana Mat Parama. Okay. Dhanyavad, Brahmaraji. So yesterday we were looking at the verse 12th, I believe. 13th, yeah. I will just read the verse. We were in the middle of 13, right? Dr. Savita, or can I? This one, Maitri Karuna.
It's a long one, yeah, Jai Gurudev. It's a long meaning. So we were in between. I think we
13th ka hai na? We're in between the 13th shloka, right?
yeah. All
Sumaji was reading, right? So you also must be. No problem. I'll just start with the 13 and quickly browse through the text. If my voice is not clear, please stop me in between. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitrah karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankarah samadukha sukha kshami. The one who has no hatred for all beings, who has the disposition of a friend, who is compassionate, free from possessiveness, free from I notion, equal in pleasant and unpleasant circumstances, and indeed one who is naturally accommodative.
We stopped at where the change is, how he can will himself to change, not others. That is where we stopped yesterday. In fact, we did that paragraph twice over.
Okay, so we don't have to repeat, right? Adveshta sarva bhutanam to bahut
yeah, this the problem
well.
comes from internalizing the behavior. This
Yeah,
is what
here
we did
we had.
2 times. Yeah, we did this paragraph. You can move
Okay.
after this.
Okay. Yeah. So yesterday we had beautifully discussed how we should not internalize the different behavior of others. Okay. A person who understands this does not have even a small degree of hatred or anger for any living being. Adveshta sarva bhutana. Seeing himself as all, he is a free person whom nothing can hurt. Unlike the ignorant, he does not helplessly set up situations where he will be hurt, but sees that all situations are shining after him. This fact is very real to him, making him naturally free from ill will towards all beings. Adveshta sarva bhutana. You cannot hate unless you get hurt, and you cannot get hurt unless someone can objectify you. Once you objectify something, you can do anything to it, including hurting it. But Atma cannot be objectified. Who can objectify the consciousness in which everything else shines as an object, a hurtful action? is simply a karma which shines after you, who is asanga. How does consciousness get affected? Actions, therefore, remain simply actions, and your responses are pragmatic. Such a person will naturally have the disposition of friendliness. He is called Maitraha. Why does he put in the abstract sense rather than saying a friend, Mitra? Anyone can be a friend, even a pet. He makes an abstract noun out of Mitra, which means the state of being a friend. Mitrasya bhavaha maitri, friendliness. One who has maitri, friendliness, is called maitraha. He bears no ill will towards anyone. Yet he is not aloof, he is friendly. Aloofness is an indication of anger or fear of facing people. It is an obstruction to growth because we can only perfect ourselves in the midst of people. I repeat this line. Aloofness is an indication of anger or fear of facing people. It is an obstruction to growth because we can only perfect ourselves in the midst of people. Removing yourself from people will only aggravate the problem in the midst of people because you require various kinds of interactions to invoke every aspect of your personality. Only then will you understand yourself. The Jnani is not only friendly towards people, he is not afraid, as he will tell later. He knows that Atma is Anand, and when that fullness gets related it with various emotions, friendliness is one of them. So, how important it is to be amidst the people. It polishes our own personality. Anyone would like to share? It reminds me, as Gurudev says, you need to be with sache, kache, or luche. Matlab, all three types of people are there in the world. So you need to learn to be with all of them. Everyone teaches us some lesson.
And sometimes we learn in such a hard fashion.
Correct.
It is, yeah,
Hard way.
very hard.
Yeah. But by
Acha.
negative, yeah. Please go ahead.
No, just carry on, please.
Please go ahead, Mrinalji.
No, it's such a difficult thing, no? Meaning,
Yes.
many a times I have started staying aloof, but even that is not right. We can't change people. It's a catch-22 situation, isn't it?
Correct, correct. And it's so important for our own personality development, no?
Uh, for that, you need to be stronger. So, strong plus a deeper understanding of why people are like that, or it says unless you are hurt, that hatred won't be there, isn't it? Because you have been hurt, the hatred is there. So understanding it very well, why you felt hurt, why that introspection has to be there because of your ego or whatever, and then coming out of that knowledge will make you stronger. But I think that's the best way to live, because how long you can be aloof.
Very true.
See, being aloof is not going to help solve the problem. That is why he said you have to be amongst people. It's not that you are making a special attempt to be among people, but when you have an opportunity to be among people, you do not ever, you don't be detestful or be averse to that, because that is where you will learn. That is your, like a laboratory to put into practice all that we've been learning. That is number one. Second is, like, if we do not internalize others' behavior, that is the gateway. If we don't allow that others' behavior to get into us, we don't give that the visa to enter in, then you will remain peaceful. Doesn't matter with whom you are. You're not going to be hurt by others' behavior or feel too very elated if they praise you. So either which ways, you will be that dvandva atita. So that internalizing is the main problem. Problem is we internalize behavior.
Yeah, can you elaborate on that with some example or something?
Yeah, someone said something, or say, for instance, they did not even look at you when you wanted to look at. I think we discussed this yesterday. Maybe, I also gave this example of my colleague in the hospital. But so I internalized that behavior, that she did not give me eye contact. And for momentarily, I was upset. Although, thankfully, thanks to this being here, it did not take me off my center a lot. But honestly, yes, I felt bad. I said, why is this strange behavior? For me, the reason why I was upset was because I internalized that not looking at me, not giving me eye contact. So I perceived that as she is upset with me, and there must be something. So I was trying to figure out what is the reason for that. So keeping that aside, now, if you do not internalize that, how are you going to look at that? It is just a passing action. It will not affect your inner peace. Isn't it? You might still want to go and figure out what has happened, because that is not an unusual thing, but then it's not going to disturb your peace within. That is what the Jnani does. He does not objectify anything, because Atma cannot be objectified. There is only one. So in that one, when these actions are happening, they are only happening in the space of Atma. So he's just looking at them like a witness, as actions. That's it. He doesn't give them any more importance than just actions.
Again, can you elaborate on this objectifying things?
Like, if you consider the other, that is when you're objectifying it, no? Mrinal is there. So I consider Mrinal as someone separate from me. I'm able to see her. I'm objectifying you. Therefore, I objectify also what all actions you do. Whereas for a Jnani, he does not objectify anything. He is in that Advaita Bhav, he's in that space of oneness. For him, everybody he's got that Samadrishti. Not that he is going to eat the table and not the dosa. That is not the thing. I'm not mentioning that. Let's not take it to that level of de-objectification. But he is in that space of equanimity, of seeing everybody in the Samadrishti. And therefore, just like how, if supposing your right hand were to, it's not a very apt example, hit the left hand, will you blame the right hand? It is your own. It belongs to you. This will not happen. So similarly, for him, everybody is him. So he does not have that thing of the other. Only when that other is there, all these negative emotions crop up. Anger or hate or hurt, being elated, all of them, all the pairs of opposites happen only when you objectify others, when you objectify things. Isn't it? Only when you see yourself separate from others.
Yeah, thank you.
Brahmaraji, and also if the situation demands a little bit different behavior from your side, still you can do that to be different, as Gurudev always says, like a Nilkant or Lord Shiva, not to internalize that and disturb your own self, isn't it?
Correct.
You may have to behave differently with certain people because the every time you cannot be goody goody,
No.
but
I'm
you
not
should not.
that at all. I'm not meaning this is
Yeah,
all his internal milieu.
yeah.
His internal maturity is to the highest standard, where he is
Mm,
like that still ocean. Nothing can disturb that stillness. Not even a big boulder, not even a big mountain that gets into the ocean. That is his internal stillness. I'm not saying we should, as karma yogis, when we are behaving in the world, we of course have to have that active acceptance and accordingly tailor our behavior. No doubt, we should use viveka over there. We
mm,
cannot say, oh, and Bhagwan Krishna never says you have to be. He never mentioned you should be goody goody all the time. No, we should use
mm.
the viveka. How was
Correct.
he? Look at his behavior to Duryodhana, to Arjuna. He uses his viveka there.
Mm,
I think total acceptance of the situation, people, will make a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Very
That
true.
totally, when you accept, then your mind settles down, right? Then you can take it. That's what we teach in our happiness program. Only from that space of centeredness, even if you want to will a change, either for yourself or for others, that will happen then. When it comes to others, you can only pray that they change. You can make that step, tell them the difference, tell them this is what is better for you, or this is the change you'd rather bring about yourself. But ultimately, unless that person wills to change, he will not change, he cannot change. No
Mm,
matter how much you go on, it will only remain as a mm, as something external. That person should start willing to change from within. Then a change can happen for him. We can only pray.
very
Yeah.
beautiful.
Jai Gurudev, uh, though it is a bit different experience, but I wanted to share one thing. Like I was suffering from pain, very vague. Like it was sometime it would increase, sometime it would automatically go, and I thought like it was so severe that when I measured my got my BP measured, it was 80 by 50. So it was suspected something cardiogenic is there. So I got my echo done, then all the test related blood test and ECG, etc. But all was normal. So it has been like from July onwards, end of July, it has been there, and I was so it was so sickening that that pain used to come, and it would sometimes, like when I do meditation or I do prayer, it would go away, and again it would be there. So as I was like it was getting frustrated, like feeling, and I asked one of my friends like, what should I do? So she suggested that you go for past life regression or hypnosis, anything. So yesterday I went for it, and it was so unbelievable that uh, it was a small procedure, but the pent up emotions that we keep, we hold on, and we don't let go, and it is those emotions, they lead to that, literally that physical pain. And from yesterday I have not been experiencing those type of severe pains. It's only a slight pain is there from last evening, and it is literally gone. I myself is so much amazed that how is it happening. So it is the emotions which we keep building up inside, And as you know, he was like who did the hypnosis. He said that as you are on this path, you get more sensitive and you catch the negative emotions very easily, because sometimes or naturally the sick people are coming to me with lot of problems and all these. So you are a very easy platform for them to receive. So it is that you have to have your energy higher so that you do not be affected by this. And for that, he said that you imagine yourself always be in a mode uh, that you are nothing. It is he who is deciding in you. Always have remain in that bhav that he's residing in you and his presence is always there. So whatever negative things are coming, they are not hurting your body mind complex. They are directing towards that atma, which is the part of the Paramatma. So, if you are consciously taking yourself as his part, no negative emotions will affect you. And the feeling of hurt, one of my complaint was that though I don't do say any bad words to anyone, or don't do intentionally anything that would hurt, but still people they their actions, their words, they like they I get hurt by them. So he said, why are you getting hurt? There's no I, there's you. It is, if you are having that feeling of hurt, it means that you are differentiating yourself. That self is still remaining. So you have to remove that self also. So, for removing that self, you have to have that feeling that you do not exist. It is he who is acting to via you. You are just a medium. You have been giving this body for a purpose. You are born with a purpose. You are here for a purpose. And whatever would be done by this body mind complex would be directed by him. You just act as a tool. Don't uh, don't think you as a separate entity apart from him. So that thing just, it struck me like anything. And I don't know, like this was my experience. I just took, I wanted to go for past life regression, but never I seemed so important. But yesterday it was a very nice experience, and the effect was that I was relieved of the pain which was bothering me from last 3 months. It was so agonizing sometimes that, like, just like as if some dagger is put in my back. It was so severe at times. So it is all that the emotions we are holding on to, that all the negatives we are holding on, that we have to release. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dhanyavad,
it
Dr.
was an
Sir.
amazing experience. Yeah.
What a beautiful experience. Yeah. Dhanyavad for sharing. So we don't have to internalize the people's behavior. I know it is not easy. It is very easy to say, but but over the period of time, I'm sure now we have become better and better every time.
This is
You have
the
to see that Atma in everyone, that same ansh of his Paramatma in everyone, whatever grievous situation or whatever situation which are not conducive for you, or you dislike them, or you dislike something in that people. You just be aware by your help, with the help of the knowledge, that it is not he. It is his all the nature, that he's made of, that all the three gunas, and he's doing that for a purpose. Even if uh, if somebody has done bad for you, that thought of doing bad was given by him. There was a purpose behind him, maybe to that you have to learn something from that incident. So if you apply repeatedly that knowledge, you will like you will uh, shrug everything from you. You will be standing shrugging everything. You will not holding to anything. This is the perception I had in my life also. And of course, when I had this pain also, and it was, I could not do, like I used to do meditation. I don't know what is happening. The pain used to release. Then after puja also it got released, and then again it would come. I don't know why. So it was bothering me for 2-3 months, and I don't know whom to approach. So it was just, I think, God's grace that one of my friends said that you go for this thing, it would relieve you. So it is God grace that it happened, and I took that.
Yeah, that is the psychosomatic aspect, no? So I'm glad you shared what you shared. Very often, uh,
And
physical
I
pain.
never imagined how this would be
Yeah.
functioning. For
Mm.
me, like if somebody would say this, like this incident would explain to me, I would think that this person is mad. How? But literally, I used to, and about that pain was affecting my body vitals also. So it was so severe. How come it is affecting my? So this is how that that uh, mind it is all the mind game. How this Ramana Maharishi, he used to not have pain, because when you give anesthesia to the body, you don't experience pain. So what is happening? It is the mind, at the mind level only, that pain is perceiving. So when anesthesia is given, mind doesn't respond to the pain. So the perception level goes. So what is happening is only at the mind level. So you make the diseases also. And often many diseases are manifested because of these stress, day-to-day stress, and guilts. And these it is said that the people who are diabetic, they remain in more of a guilt mode. And like all these diseases, lifestyle diseases, mostly they get manifested out of your uh, this thinking process, your mind, how you take life, as how much stress you take, how much you hold on to. uh, the disease manifests that way only. It starts with that, apart from our living style, of course, but the mind has a role to play in the diseases. That is why when we do meditations, we have seen that people who are on the spiritual path, who do a lot of puja meditation, they don't fall ill so easily, because that repairing work keeps on happening in the body, and they are in that mode of letting go, forgiving, all there with aspects, like just analyzing it that way also.
Yeah. There is one more this thing, Art of Living. They have one Meru Chikitsa process that also helps to relieve the stuck emotions in different parts of your body, and it's wonderful. You might have to take 7-8 sessions. I mean, depending upon your problem, but it's just the alignment of your overall body parts, or mainly your spine. It works wonders.
Yeah, they align the energies, basically. The energies align themselves, uh, and you are free of those pains, and uh, basically all your whatever you are perceiving, but in particular areas, that is by doing that, they align all your energy levels at all the chakras. And he also said that it will take a week, and your energy would be aligned, and you just report me after a week. So it was what I gathered from that is that it is a mind which is playing you. So all you have to do is feed the mind the positive things and accept. The sooner, the more you accept yourself as a part of Paramatma, that would release you of many things. Always trying to be in that state, acknowledging every time. If somebody is saying bad thing to you, oh, he's saying it to Paramatma. I am nowhere to be experiencing all this. So that aman, apaman, that good and bad, everything, you just take a step back and you put Paramatma there. Then all these negative emotions would not affect you. You would not feel hurt also. Who is dishonoring you? I am not getting dishonored. It is the Paramatma who is getting dishonored. Why should I bother? So that you behave as a second person. You are not facing it is he who is being told every time. So that it's just a shifting of the mind. I think only the shifting of mind, which would help you in a great fashion. Yeah.
That is one thing. Second is to consider to be indifferent to them. I remember one of our teachers had mentioned, if someone is saying something that is hurtful or humiliating, consider them as tables and chairs. When you look at them as tables and chairs will not hurt you. The problem is we give a face. When you look at faces, that is when Ragadvesha happens, which is what even Gurudev has been saying in the last few meditations. Like WCF, he says, you look at people without the face. The mind has no face. So when you look at everybody without a face, then there is that sameness that you feel. There is no raga dvesha that is erupting from within. So that is another technique that we can use, is to see people without a face. Second is to be indifferent to them, indifferent to such behavior. So when you're indifferent, you're not internalizing it. You're not letting it get into your mind space. You're not letting that visa to enter. You're not giving it the visa to enter. So being indifferent and being in a space where you see there is no face to anybody, or treating them as inanimate objects, even this will help in making your internal state calm rather than being disturbed.
Very fruitful discussion. So we will move ahead. Jnani has friendship and compassion. Karuna is one who has Karuna is the one who has compassion. He can condone others' omissions and commissions. The same Ananda that expresses as love or friendliness takes the form of sympathy for those who are in pain. Shankara adds that he is one who gives refuge to all, a sannyasi. With the sun, the guru, and all the elements as witnesses, a sannyasi openly declares to all beings, do not be afraid. Ma Baista. He will not be the cause of fear for anyone because he does not covet any of their wealth or position. Not even a plant or animal need be afraid of him anymore. He gives abhaya to all beings. If he does not have karuna, how is he going to teach anybody? In the vision of a teacher who really knows what he is talking about, you are Satchidananda and no problem. He has no problem and neither does anyone else in his vision. If the pain of another does not move him, how is he going to see a necessity to teach? How is he going to help his sishyas in getting relief of their pain? Ananda, which is so natural to him, transforms into sympathy. He is not oblivious to people's behavior. In fact, he is much more sensitive than others, but his response is one of compassion. In a wise man, it is absolute. It is not that because he is Ananda and sees no problem, he has no emotions and therefore does not teach. If that were so, the tradition of teaching would come to a standstill. Teaching would be done by those who do not know what they are talking about, and those who know would not teach. When the Shishya says, "Oh Guru, please teach me, I am in pain," the Guru does not say, "You are Satchidananda, you have no problem." Nor does he become so identified with the sorrow of a sansari that he becomes sorrowful. This is another erroneous notion. If anyone says such a thing of a Mahatma, he is not praising him, but belittling him.
I think this paragraph will need a repetition, Bela.
Okay, I will read once again. Jnani has friendship and compassion. Karuna is the one who has compassion. He can condone others' wishes and commissions. The same Ananda
I think
that
there is
I
some
can.
disturbance from your side, Bela.
Oh, can someone take over? I mean, the voice is breaking because there is no notification coming on my screen. But if it is breaking, then please someone take over.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, Sumaji, dhanyavad.
Yeah, thank you. Jai Gurudev. Jnani has friendship and compassion. Karuna is the one who has compassion. He can condone others' omissions and commissions. The same Ananda that expresses as love or friendliness takes the form of sympathy for those who are in pain. Shankara adds that he is one who gives refuge to all, a sannyasi. With the sun, the guru, and all the elements as witnesses, a sannyasi openly declares to all beings, do not be afraid. Ma Baishta. Ma Baishta. So, with the sun, the guru, and all the elements as witnesses, a sannyasi openly declares to all beings, do not be afraid. Ma Baishta. He will not be the cause of fear for anyone because he does not covet any of their wealth or position. Not even a plant or animal needs to be afraid of him anymore. He gives abhaya to all beings. If he does not have karuna, how is he going to teach anybody? In the vision of a teacher who really knows what he is talking about, you are Satchidananda and have no problem. He has no problem, and neither does anyone else in his vision. If the pain of another does not move him,
how is he going to see a necessity to teach? How is he going to help this Shishya in getting relieved of their pain? Ananda, which is so natural to him, transforms into sympathy. He is not oblivious to people's behavior. In fact, he is much more sensitive than others, and his response is one of compassion. In a wise man, it is absolute. It is not that because he is Ananda and sees no problem, he has no emotions and therefore does not teach. If that were so, the tradition of teaching would come to a standstill. Teaching would be done by those who do not know what they are talking about, and those who know would not teach. When the Sishya says, "Oh Guru,
Can you
please teach
repeat this
me,"
sentence, Suma? This is what I could not understand.
teaching would be done by those who do not know what they are talking about. That is, if the sannyasi is not sensitive and he does not show compassion, then because he is seeing everything as Ananda, so he will not teach. So the teaching will come to a standstill. Then who will teach? So teaching will be done by those who do not know what they are talking about, and those who know would not teach. So when a Sishya says, "Oh Guru, please teach me, I am in pain," the Guru does not say, "You are Satchidananda, you have no problem." Nor does he become so identified with the sorrow of a samsari that he becomes sorrowful. This is another erroneous notion. If anyone says such a thing of a Mahatma, he is not praising him but belittling him. So you understood?
No, this is not clear to me. This is
Even
the
to me,
one
this
who knows will not teach.
that line,
Which
would
line?
not teach. Teaching would be
Teaching
done by
would
those
be
who do
done
not
by
know.
those who do not know. That is, those who do not know what is Satchidananda. Because Satchidananda, person who knows what that he is Satchidananda, sees
But in the
everybody as
previous paragraph,
Satchidananda.
in the previous sentence, he mentions a jnani is one who understands. He's not oblivious to people's pain.
It is
So
pain, yeah.
therefore, this tradition of teaching is going on, which means he teaches. And then there is this sentence which says, "A person who knows will not teach." So that little, I thought that was a little confusing. I
He
couldn't
is
quite
not
understand.
oblivious to people's behavior. In fact, he is much more sensitive than others, but his response is one of compassion. In a wise man, it is absolute. It is not that because he is Ananda and sees no problem, he has no emotions and therefore does not teach. This is my understanding that a sannyasi who's Satchidananda, who knows he is Satchidananda and everybody is Satchidananda, for him that knowledge is absolute.
Means when someone with a pain comes to the Jnani, he will not say you are a Satchidananda. He will teach.
Yeah.
He will
And
teach.
neither will he
He
go
will
the
have a
opposite.
compassion. He will have a compassion and he will not become one with his emotions or his pain. So he will teach how to come out of it.
Yeah, that's my understanding as well.
But if Jnani becomes like he doesn't want to continue teaching, then who will teach? Only the people who are talking, who have not understand that issue, and they will teach. So that's why Jnani should not stop from teaching the people, and he should be aloof of their sentiments. They should not be dragged in their problems.
That
I
he's
think
already
so.
centered, so he will not get
Yeah,
drowned in their sorrow.
yeah, correct.
But
Or
people,
sorry. Is it that the knowing you are Satchidananda is your realization, it may not come by teaching? Does that mean, does it imply over here?
You are Sachidananda, recognition comes through all your practices and adherence to scripture and putting all the knowledge into action. And you reach that level of that guru. And therefore, it is said that they should not
Actually,
stop teaching because
at the internal level, he is away from their miseries. He is centered and calm. Most of the time, what happens when somebody comes with their problem with us, we become one with them, and we will
Yeah.
also feel like that.
Yeah. We say, oh, you poor thing, you don't deserve this.
So that
Like that.
Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, that will keep you centered again.
Rather than sympathizing, you take him out with the help of knowledge, rather than sympathizing with that problem with that of that person.
So I think here, because the Guru does not say you are Sachidananda, you have no problem, that is the part of teaching that they're talking about. So in that way, he does not teach. He
will solve his problem.
Yeah, he will direct him accordingly, correctly. Like for instance, when Arjuna spoke, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam, he didn't say go take sannyasa. He didn't say, although he said you are Atma, you are above this, Nasato, with all that he said for you it is Karma Yoga. You have to take your weapon and fight. Stand up and fight. So that is the teaching that Bhagwan gave to Arjuna when he approached him. He was out of compassion, he told him this. It was not like he was drowned. He was very stable and he was just listening to all the outpouring that Arjuna gave. So he is not sitting and teaching him, oh, you are Sachidananda, you are not the body, this and that. Although he mentioned it to him, his direction to him was, his instructions to him were to stand up and fight. So that way, I think that the Guru does not say, so the person who knows would not teach. Teaching would be done by those who do not know what they are talking about, and those who know would not teach. Maybe that is how, I don't know, maybe that's how we need to understand this.
Yeah, correct. Those who know will not tell everybody, oh, you're Sachidananda and
correct.
solve the problem, because it doesn't solve.
Right. So if anyone says such a thing of a Mahatma, he's not praising him, but belittling him.
Yeah. So Mahatma is the one who's centered, who's beyond all these trigunas, the vagaries of the mind and the situations. He's beyond all that. He's a Mahatma. But if you call somebody a Mahatma because he sympathizes with your sorrow and becomes sorrowful, then that is not a definition of a Mahatma.
So that is belittling him.
Yeah.
Right.
The Lord is also represented as one who is all compassion. In his essential form, you can look upon him as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Or you can regard him as an ocean of compassion, etc. It is the same for a wise man. He has spontaneous friendliness and affection towards people. Because he has no ill will or hatred, He always wants to do something good for people. Helping becomes very natural. This compassion is greater than that of even a religious person. He may use a certain plant in a ritual, but a sannyasi could never cut that plant. Nobody will be afraid of jnani because he is absolutely harmless. He does not demand anything from society, and more than that, gives abhaya to all. He tells Indra and other devas and even the tree, hereafter, do not be afraid of me. To reach that point, he must be mature. Then, if he has jnana, it will prevail, whatever happens. Then, if he has jnana, it will prevail, whatever happens. Because of that abhaya, he is fearless, like an innocent child. This is one of the two expressions often used to describe a wise man. The other is a madman, unmata. Similarity is that he is happy and for no reason at all. At least from our standpoint, there is no reason. But his happiness does not arise from any situation. It is his nature, Swarupananda. And like a child, he is free from ragadvesha, just as we are not afraid of a child. Likewise, we are not afraid of a wise man, one who considers sukha and dukkha as equal, one who can forgive. The jnani, then, is one who has no hatred towards any being, but who, on the other hand, has friendliness and total compassion. All these are not simply attitudes and values, sadhanas, but rather, because of the context, they are characteristics, lakshanas. In the next chapter, certain sadhanas like amanitva, adambitva, ahimsa are given as means for gaining knowledge, jnana sadhanas, and therefore to be cultivated. But they are the expressions of a wise man who knows that the nature of the self is freedom, fullness. When he interacts with the world, he expresses himself as adveshta sarvabhutanam, etc. So there's something called jnana sadhana, which, can you just lower that little bit? He talks about 3 jnana sadhanas, no? Amanitva, adambitva, ahimsa. So we need to do this sadhana, I suppose, to refine, purify. What is amanitva and adambitva? Anyone has any knowledge on that?
Amanitva is feeling of no I-ness, minus. I think he's going to talk
Like
about that
asmita.
later. Yeah. Adambitva is not having that ego sense. Ahambhava, that is not there. And ahimsa, of course, is non-violence. I think he will talk about it here. He doesn't have ahankara and mamakara. So amanitva is mamakara, is not having mamakara. And adambitva is not having ahankara.
Jnani has no ahankara and mamakara. Nirmama, one who is free from the sense of mind.
the sense that something belongs to him. This notion can remain even if one gives up all possessions. Even if one is a sannyasi, he may not have any real estate or a bank account, but he can still have the sense of my body, my mala, my kamandalu. This sense of ownership, mamatwa, goes only when ahankara, which expresses as I am this much alone, I am this much alone, goes. As long as the sense of I is placed in the physical body, tehe atma buddhi, there is the notion of oneself as an isolated individual. Once that is there, the idea of mine, mama prayatyaya, is impossible to avoid. You can give up as many things as you like, but his mama pratyaya will not totally go until the ahankara goes. What goes, in fact, is not the ahankara, but the notion of the reality of the ahankara. Once a person has jnana, there can be no notional ahankara because the notion stems from self-ignorance. Ahankara and mamakara support each other's existence. Unless you say, these things are mine, ahankara cannot really be sustained. But even relatively speaking, there is nothing one can claim to own if you analyze it. A mature person looks upon everything as belonging to Ishvara. He finds himself endowed with a few things towards which he has the attitude of a trustee and does not suffer from the inflated notion that he has accomplished everything he has, a notion rooted in ignorance. This is a person who through viveka has gained maturity and is relatively free from a sense of insecurity. The fact that what will happen is well known to him, and thus he enjoys a certain relaxation and readiness to face things as they come. There is trust in himself, trust in Ishvara, and therefore a lot of inner freedom. That is a mature ahankara. But still, where did it go? But still not enlightened. A kind of mamakara remains, though not to the degree we generally see in people. He is a karma yogi, a bhakta. In this verse, however, the person talked about has no notion of I, ahankara, aham pratyaya, as the body, etc. A notion that comes from self-ignorance. On inquiry, with the help of Shastra and the Guru, he has discovered himself to be free from being one physical body and sees that he is, in fact, everything. His vision is aham, idam, sarvam. I am all this, and therefore the individual I sense has gone. This can only be a jnani, not a bhakta in a popular sense of the word, who is necessarily an ajnani because he makes a division between himself and the Ishvara he worships. That does not mean that a jnani cannot be a bhakta. As we have seen, he is included in the four types of devotees. The artha who worships only when he is in distress. the Artharthi, who enlists Bhagwan's help to accomplish his various ends, the Jignasu, who wants to know who is Bhagwan, and finally Jnani, who appreciates Ishvara as essentially non-separate from himself. He is in fact the only real bhakta because his bhakti is fulfilled. All the others are qualifying themselves to become real bhaktas, though they are all dear to Ishvara. The Jnani, he says, is myself alone. Jnani is Atma Eva. Atma Eva. That is who is being discussed here. Jnani is equal in Sukha and Dukkha. Sama, Dukkha, Sukha. The one for whom Sukha and Dukkha are equal. Can you
Before we go
raise
to Sukha Dukkha, can we just go back to how he relieves himself of the Mamakara and the Ahankara? We can just talk about that before we go to this Sukha Dukkha.
So what I gathered is Ahankara and Mamakara support each other. So the Ahankara does not fully go because there is that my body, that Mamakara is still there, though he may give up everything else. Until such a time when he comes to recognize, I am all this. I am Sarvam Idam, he says, no? Until that time, when he recognizes that I'm not just this body, but I'm also everything, Sarvam, then only that Ahankara goes. This is what I gathered.
The Mamakara goes there. And for the Ahankara to go, he considers himself a trustee. Like he has a house. No, we're talking of a sannyasi here. So there's no question of a house, but whatever he thinks he owns, he considers that as him being a trustee of that. Like if we look
his
at
mala, his kamandalu, like that.
Yeah. It is all given by Ishvara. He's only he considers everything as given and not as given by, as Ishvara. So when we direct it to ourselves, how we look that as a sadhana is if we have some achievement or if we are living in a house, we consider that house not as, my house, my achievement, but it's just that it is given by Ishvara and you're just taking care of it. That is at our level, as at the sadhak level. But for him as a jnani, he just considers himself a trustee. Then that ahankara is not everything.
Is a
Correct.
Gift.
It's a gift, and he's only because for him he is actually one with Ishvara. So he is in that space where that ahankara, also that notion that ahankara is a reality, even that is not there. That notion disappears with jnana. All others are still reeling with that notion that the ahankara is real and therefore we are holding on to it. That is the whole problem. It's because we hold on to the ahankara and therefore we see the other and then we get hurt, we get humiliated, we get elated. We expand ourselves when someone praises us. We feel expansive. So all that is because of our identity with the ahankara. So jnani is someone who is free from that. Adambitvam. Amanitvam, adambitvam. Right. Okay. We can go ahead. Yeah. Unless someone else wants to also share.
One question I have: what, Karam Yogi Mamakara? how we will define the mamakara of a karam yogi? He is just taking him separately from Ishvara, or is this something more to it, uh, apart from that aspect?
No, I didn't understand your question.
I'm asking, like, for a karma yogi, the mamakara. Karma yogi has a mamakara, no? He separates himself from
Correct.
Ishvara. He has.
Mm.
So, is there some other aspect also apart from this? Is there something more to it for that mamakara to explain to that explaining mamakara of karma yogi? Some more points to be added to this apart from this, that he is taking himself to be separate from Ishvara, or only this aspect is there? I'm asking this.
Yeah, I think the only reason why there is this little bit of mamakara even for a karma yogi is because he looks up to Ishvara. There is that Ishvara he recognizes Ishvara. That is inherent in a karma yogi. Otherwise, he's not a karma yogi. He's only a dharmic person. So that recognition that Ishvara is there and he's the karma phaladata, karma dhyaksha and all that is because there is that feeling of I-ness, minus
Please.
and that worship.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't it?
Only
Otherwise,
this aspect is there, no?
only this
Some.
aspect.
Okay.
Only this aspect. And if you remember that the previous shloka where he talks of the three kinds of in which a karma yogi can live: Ishwarartham karma, Ishwararpitam karma, and taking everything as Ishwara's vibhuti. So a karma yogi is in that state. So his ahankara is there, but it is kind of diluted. It is compared to a non-karma yogi. A karma yogi's ahankara is there a little bit, but it is kind of getting sublimated. Whereas a jnani has no ahankara at all, because he's one with Ishvara. So therefore, that is why he says, in the true sense of a bhakta, he's not a bhakta. Bhakta means there is a little division between the bhakta and Ishvara. That duality is there. Whereas for a jnani, that duality does not exist. For a karma yogi, there is a bit of duality.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we can move on to jnani is equal to in sukha and dukkha.
Okay.
Or do you want to discuss on the mamakara and ahankara? Those are quite... See, all these, I think from verse 13 onwards, are all the characteristics of a jnani that are like lighthouses for us as sadhaks.
Yeah,
They are all the
sadhana for
jnanis.
us.
Yeah, they are the sadhana for us. They are all like the ornaments of the jnani. They adorn him. They become our lakshan, our sadhana tools.
Mm.
So this jnana sadhana is what? Amanitvam, adambitvam and ahimsa.
And
Can you-
ahimsa to yourself also, you must remember. Usually we think ahimsa is to the other. We should not be violent with the others. But even feeling sad is ahimsa, is himsa to ourselves.
Hari Om, Mananaji. The word krita kritya, does it mean that always in the feeling of gratitude, or always in the feeling that Ishvara is the karma dhyaksha? That word is used for Jnani.
Yeah, I think Krita Kritya is the one, is a synonym for a Jnani, in that he has accomplished all that needs to be done. There's nothing else left for him to do. That is a Krita Kritya. In the sense, see, Bhagwan says there's nothing for me to do, yet I'm doing because I, uh, people follow my example. But he is a Krita Kritya. He has nothing to do. He has accomplished everything. No more doing is done, is required. That is a Krita Kritya. When you say gratitude again, he is beyond the gratitude part also. Gratitude you can feel to whom? To someone else, right? But a jnani is in that space of oneness. So who is he going to be grateful for? Karma yogi can be grateful for, but a jnani is even beyond that gratitude aspect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jnani, one of his lakshana is gratitude, because he knows he is the trustee of this body, these things, this situation, these people. So he must be feeling that sense of gratitude for taking care of, being a trustee for all this, so that he can express or he can live the knowledge.
He is knowledge. So there is no, we're talking of the jnani who is Vidvat sannyasi, a jnani who has recognized himself as Ishvara. So for such a complete person, he is Ishvara. So he has got all
Okay.
the
So he
aspects
has
of
no
Ishvara,
attributes. Okay.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yes,
he is
yes. You're right.
he is Bhagwan. So there is, who is he going to be grateful for?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Swamiji brought in that thing of he considers himself a trustee is that that lesha avidya is still there, whatever, that thing. He has to take care of his body. Ramana Maharshi went even beyond that. He was not even caring for his body. But his guru had to put in that little bit of that thing for him to take care of his body. That, in that sense, they consider themselves as trustees for taking care of this body. That's my understanding. But otherwise, a jnani has absolutely no difference between him and Ishvara. It'll be really nice to actually read through the life stories of these great men, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and then Ramana Maharshi, for us to
Very true.
understand, because they are our lighthouses. Like even Gurudev, for instance, we know a lot about Gurudev. All his childhood, how he was, how he would even play. He would be very upset about playing with a ball, football, because he wouldn't like to hit a ball here and there. The kind of games he used to play, they're all so representative of the true sattva that he was from the time he was born. So when we read about them and understand their life stories and how they related to things and situations, they become our guide, our guidelines, like for us to understand.
Brahmaji. I was crying when I was reading the story of Eknath. I mean, it's really shaking how they have evolved from the kind of life they were as a kid and the kind of wisdom they acquired. They are all, no doubt, they are one with Parmeshwara. So Kritatya, we have to keep in mind as Jignasu or as Karma Yogi, right, Brahmaraji? We have to remain that gratitude feel.
Kritakritya is a sannyasi, is a jnani. who's accomplished everything that he has to accomplish. There's nothing else for him to do.
Okay. Okay, so another name for Vidvat Sannyas.
I have a piece of, before we conclude today, I think this jnani is equal to sukha. In sukha and dukkha, maybe we can do it tomorrow. We can start to, not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow I have a piece of good news for all of us. Nana has been going through this Upanishad Ratnakaram, which is a storehouse of collection of the important shlokas from different Upanishads. And from there, he has picked and chosen some shlokas that he wants to share with us. He says he would do a once a week session, and he might need about 3 or 4 such sessions to complete all the shlokas that are there in the Upanishads. And these are like the crest jewels also for our, that will help us in our Manana, Nididhyasana. So what better than to start during the auspicious days of Navratri. So how about us meeting tomorrow at 7:30 India time, 7:30 Bahrain time, which is 9 o'clock India time. I know there are homas happening. So if everyone is okay with it, we'll go ahead with that.
It will be a 1 hour session?
1 hour session, yeah.
Okay. And then it will be fine. Like, otherwise, puja
Yeah,
will,
fine.
yeah. Okay.
1 hour
It is
session
additional grace of God, you know.
yeah. So
Yeah,
this is going to be from
wonderful.
9 to 10 India time. If that's okay with everybody, we'll get
Yeah, so
started tomorrow.
every Sunday, Brahmaraji, it will be
Yeah, every Sunday.
wonderful.
So at this time, we'll start, no? Right now, this time.
Yeah, we'll start at this time. Exactly. We'll start
Yeah,
at this
it will
time.
be nice.
Hmm?
Right.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we can
Thanks,
do that.
Manaji.
So Sundays we'll have that.
Dr.
Yes, Renuji.
Hello, Dr. Zara. Can we have it on Saturdays or Fridays? Because you
Yeah.
know, Sunday.
But Friday, the thing is, there are people who are in India who might be working. No, I know for us, see, some of us will have
How
to
about
sacrifice.
Saturday?
Jai Gurudev, my suggestion is
Okay.
Sunday is all full kriya in the mornings, no? So if we can change the time or if we can change the day.
Saturday will be great if possible.
Saturday is best.
Otherwise, it's okay. Because
Sunday is chock-a-block because we need to go out also to take the follow-up and then online also follow-up. And Sunday everybody is at home, so special food preparations and everything is like too much pressure on Sunday. So if we can peacefully means giving 100% to whatever Nanaji is sharing, that will be the best, I think so.
How about Friday then? How is Friday working out if we instead of Sunday?
But Friday is perfectly okay.
But there are
Anytime
people
Friday.
who are working, no, in India. Not sure how many of them are working who are attending this.
See, regular we are
For me, it is
15
okay.
people.
Like,
Huh?
for me, it is
Regularly
okay.
attending these 15 people, 10, 15 people. And if they are okay, then anyway, other people, they always go through the YouTube
So if Friday works, then it will work out for even Dr. Renu, for me, everybody. By Friday will be fine. So
Yeah,
Friday or
Friday is
Saturday,
okay.
great. Yeah,
Yes.
Saturday may be difficult, but Friday
Yeah.
is fine then. So Friday we can have,
Thursday perfect.
yeah, Friday. The only thing is we'll be able to have it only at, say, a little later, because till 8:15 we have Kriya at home, so it'll be after that, which means 10:15, 10:30 India time. Is that fine?
For me, it's perfectly all right. Friday,
10:30 India
10:30.
time will be 8:30 Bahrain time and 9:30 Dubai time.
Yeah,
So
it is okay.
it's fine, right? So then
Yeah, fine.
we'll fix for Friday. Friday will be 10:30 India time. Sorry, not 10:30. 8:30 is 11 o'clock. Sorry, 11 o'clock India time. 11 to 12 it will be then.
Perfecto.
Friday, 11 to 12 India time. Okay. But I would suggest, since it's during the Navratri, maybe tomorrow we will make a small, I'll ask him if he wants to make a small beginning. Otherwise, every day is auspicious. In knowledge, we cannot really differentiate that, right? Isn't it? So it doesn't matter. We'll see how it works out. In case we're starting tomorrow in a small manner, I'll put it up in the group. If not, we'll have this session on the coming Friday on Upanishads. Yeah.
Just a suggestion, Brahmaraji. Tomorrow we can have like whatever text Nanaji has summarized. We can have it between 6:30 or 7 to 7:30, and Nanaji can take over from 9 onwards. I mean, the India time.
Yeah.
Can explain. We can just read that text before he comes, so he also gets some time, and he can come at 7:30 India time. 7:30, sorry, Dubai time.
Bahrain time.
Yeah.
Let's see. I will put it forward to him and we'll take it from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
So
will wait for your instruction on the group for tomorrow.
Yeah. For tomorrow, yes. As it stands, we'll meet up in the morning at the same regular time at 7:30 India time. And then in case Nana is going to have a little session with him, I will let you know. I'll anyway put all the message in the group. There'll be communication there.
Okay. Dhanyavad, Brahmaraji.
So shall wind up here. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu.